Welcome back to another episode of Derek and Bethany React, where we react to real estate shows about real estate or TV movies about shows that are TV. That made no sense. That's dumb, but it's fine. You're here, we're here, and we're ready to watch another episode, and I'm excited about it because it's one of my favorite shows of all time, New Girl.
Today we're going to be watching an episode of New Girl, Season 5, Episode 4.
Very excited about this one, specifically because I have no idea what it's about because I completely forgot since I watched it 7 years ago. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube or like and comment on any of our socials. Go and follow us on our Facebook, on our Instagrams. We do this all the time. This is stuff that we love to do, but we are active real estate agents. So if you're looking to move here to the Middle Tennessee area, we would love to help you guys out. And enjoy that's about it, right? Fool's gold.
Who's that girl? Who's that girl? It's just...
All right. So because we're watching New Girl, a lot of people might not understand this, but they actually rent this apartment that they're in. And a fun exercise for you to do if you're thinking about buying is calculate how much you've spent on rent the entire time that you've rented. So when we did it, when we got together and we were looking to buy, we ended up calculating how much we had spent on rent, and I think it was like over $250,000 between the two of us. That you then take that number, right, and you put it in a pile and burn it, which is basically what you're doing because it's not actually going towards anything, especially not towards you. And we say that, that's a little overboard, but at the end of the day, you understand the point. We're just saying that it's a fun exercise to do. Not so much because you're looking how much you spent in rent. However, it is something to give you kind of an incentive of, you know what if I instead was spending that towards an actual house? How much would that pull my house down and allow me to get in equity, etc. So that's something fun to think about. And then also when you're doing those calculations, just understand everybody's got to rent at some point. Like
absolutely.
You can't just go buy a house to buy a house.
Yeah.
There's people we work with that are a year, 2, 3, 4 years away before they can even buy a house because they have to save money, or there's certain other things that they have to do as far as credit rebuild, etc. But anyways, I just thought that was a fun fact, something that you could do as a fun exercise when you're thinking about buying a house.
Trust me, it'll work. I've done the math, and if we rent out every room for a month, we'll have enough money we won't need Todd.
The hospitality industry is fast-paced and it's detail-oriented, and you have the focus of a coked-up Italian on a summer day.
I'm very focused.
You're not even looking at me right
I thought
now.
I saw something shiny.
So you might be asking yourself, is it possible to rent out a room of a house or an apartment that you're already renting from someone? Potentially. So it all depends on your lease terms. So I don't deal a whole lot in leases. If I do anything, it's typically commercial lease. But if you have in your lease, which is what you need to refer back to at any point in time if you have questions, is you need to look back at your lease and see, is there anything about subletting? So in a sublease or a sublet, there is a potential where in the lease it says you are not allowed to sublease this apartment or sublet this apartment. Now, there's a little gray area there if it says nothing about subletting an actual room because you're still paying rent. It's a little bit different. So I would say you definitely need to talk with your property management company or your property manager before making any of those decisions, or look at your lease. That should be able to tell you exactly what you can and cannot do.
Yeah, and obviously it's only a limited amount of time because Jess is away at jury duty, so...
I just feel like it's very gray area.
Yeah.
It's a very high potential that you're not allowed to do it. Most of the time you're not. Because reason being for me, I would say, looking at it as if I was leasing out a property to somebody as a long-term rental, and I then find out that they are subletting or renting that out to someone else, the concern there is that you signed the agreement. This other person never signed any agreement,
Right.
so if they destroy the property in any way, sort, or form or fashion, the person actually leasing out the property
Is liable.
very liable. So that's the gray area there. It's like, anyways, I'm not gonna tell you to do it or not do it. I'm just saying check with whoever runs the place. Hey, baby, can you?
Is that your tent?
You gonna pitch a tent right here, huh? This is where we're going.
Yeah.
Our kid is with us today.
No, like that. Like that. Like that.
Like that.
Okay?
Okay.
Wait down there.
I don't need to know that. Kumiko, that is not my business.
Wait down there.
You mean down there?
Yes.
That's really, yes. Yeah, that's actually, yeah. Let me get in the drain.
When you're talking about short-term rentals, something you need to think about is a budget. And a part of that budget is the 20% rule. What is that? Well, you need to budget every month 20% to go towards vacancy and utilities, okay? That way you have a good number, especially before you decide to go into that short-term rental or purchase that buy to make it a short-term rental. You just need to think about, hey, I need to budget 20% for vacancy in case it doesn't rent, etc., and your utilities.
And in this situation, a lot of times you can manage it yourself, or you can have a property manager. So in this situation, it looks like they're managing it themselves. They're cleaning up, you know, making sure the shower's working and things of that nature. So it's however you want to do that. Again, if you want to
It all depends on the numbers,
take
right?
the load off and give it to somebody else and let somebody else be in charge of just managing the property, that might be the best bet.
Yeah, it just depends on what you want to do, and it depends on your budget. So
Yes.
if you're able to budget, depends on who the property management company is. Make sure you read the reviews, make sure you talk to people that use them, and make sure that when you're doing your research, you figure out what their property management fee is, which is a percentage of that amount that you sell. And some of them do percentages off of the nightly rent. Some of them do it based off of not only the nightly rent, but everything, taxes, cleaning fees, all their fees. They might do it off of the whole entire thing. So you want to make sure that they do it off of the nightly rent, if you can, and make sure that it's no more than 25%, I would say. I think there's a lot of them that charge 35%, but I just feel like that's over the top. No more than 25. We have one that we have for 15%. We got lucky and negotiated them down. That's another thing is you very well may be able to negotiate them down, especially if they were able to do a property management for that specific property that you're purchasing.
I'm here to talk about money. American currency. Our special time was not included financially in the room rate because I'm running a business and I can't be soft here.
I understand. I give you money.
Thank you for being so cool. That's what, yes.
You a prostitute.
When it comes to property management and you managing your own property, there's some things you might want to think about. It's not just about like being over here and accepting a check, right? Like you're gonna have to go and change things like plumbing if something happens, or fix the issues, or change out the filters, or I mean just random things that come to mind. You're gonna have to go do that and be your own maintenance man, as well as collect rent. And you collecting that rent or you collecting that money, it might get to a point where it's a little bit tougher than you might think. So what if somebody's not willing to pay it, and this is on a long-term rental typically, but collecting that payment, and you have these tough conversations and it becomes more frustrating and more of a headache than it would be to spend 15 to 25% on a property management to just completely alleviate that. Again, normally on a long-term rental. When it comes to short-term rentals, obviously they pay before they even get there, and there's ways around that. So I don't know, it's just something that I harp on a lot because I don't have the time personally to manage my own properties. I just don't. I'm gonna have to hire somebody to do it. So why not just go ahead and get a property management company that deals with that and is a professional in that field? Just like a realtor, we're professionals in our field, and you would hire us to help you find a home, help you get a contract on that home, help you get through that entire process, contract to close, and close on your new home. That's what we do, and you hire us for that. Might as well go ahead and hire a property management company as well.
Yeah, short-term rentals, you have to think about the cleaning. You know, if you have somebody that says only 2 nights, well, you have to go in before the next turn around, and clean before, especially if you have it booked. So that's something to keep in mind. And then, yeah, hard conversations like eviction for long-term rentals if people don't
Tough.
pay or things
Don't
of
pay,
that
you don't
nature.
stay.
Yeah.
So that episode went completely different than what I thought it was going to be about. It's a different part of real estate. It's not just about buying and selling. It was a little bit more about the short-term rental, long-term rental. I think overall, there's a lot of things you need to think about when it comes to if I'm going to do a long-term rental or short-term rental, if you're going to purchase one. You just need to think about budget. You need to think about, does this make sense money-wise based off of what I'm purchasing the property for? Just run your numbers.
Yep.
But overall, I thought that was a fun episode. Very, very funny episode.
Yeah, have found lots of rentals for people, short-term rentals, long-term rentals. We have a short-term rental ourselves, so we are very knowledgeable on helping you run numbers and things of that nature. So if that's something you're interested in, we can totally help you with that.
Perfect. We're done. Bye. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed another episode of Derek and Bethany React. We can't wait to see you on the next one. And Crew's gonna say bye. Sign us off today.
Yeah, if there are any movies or shows you'd like for us to react to, please just let us know in the comment section. Crew, what are we gonna say?
Say bye. Bye. See you later. See you guys.
Not even started it, but it's fine.
It's been great so far.
Yeah. All right, let's press play. Come on. We don't have much time with Crew's schedule.
If you're gonna rent, just a fun fact or something fun to do, babe, you gotta look a little more alive.
I'm not
Holy
recording.
crap, he is recording. You literally like,
No, I was just thinking, going over what you were saying. I was thinking in my head. Can you rent out a room of a house that
I'm
you're
right
already,
here, you're screaming.
that
at
you're
me.
already
There's not one to go there. Is yours on?
I don't know. Can you hear me? Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. All right, let's try this again. I blacked out and it was so good that now I forgot it. All right, ready? You ready? We gotta be quiet. We gotta be quiet. We gotta play quiet mouse. We gotta play quiet mouse. All right, guys, thank you for joining us on another episode of Smart Moves. We hope you got a little bit out of this, like we introduced. That's fine. It's not Smart Moves. I forgot. I know.